Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do chapter 3. So everybody find your chapter 3 foldable and open it up. So the bottom one, and we're going to start writing on the top. So I'm on the chapter 3, and I'm writing on the top. So there's some basic vocabulary words we have, and the first one we have is parallel. And remember, lines are parallel if they never touch. And the symbol for parallel is that. So AB is parallel to B, no, it can't be parallel to BD, to DC. Okay, so those things are parallel. The next word we have is perpendicular. Lines that are perpendicular form a right angle, so they make right angles. And for perpendicular, remember our sign is our upside down T. The next one we have is skew. And skew is the lines that are not parallel and don't intersect. They also tend to be on different planes. Okay, so skew lines are lines like the blue lines in the classroom. At the front of the classroom there's a horizontal line, and over by where Tyson sits there is a vertical line. Alright, and so now let's draw a picture. So make sure when you draw your picture, put your angle numbers in the same spot that I did. Otherwise it's going to make things difficult. If you need to stop the video occasionally to get caught up, please do that. And so remember, this is when we have vertical or parallel lines. And so the first type we have is alternate interior. And our alternate interior angles are angles that are in between the lines but on opposite sides. So that's like 7 and 3. Angle 7, angle 3. And then the other combination for that is angle 6 and angle 2. Okay, so that's alternate interior. Alternate exterior is the same idea, except they're on the outside. And so for this one, 8 is alternate exterior with 4. And on the other side, we have angle 1 and angle 5. The next type we have is something called consecutive interior. And remember, consecutive interior is one right after the other, and these are actually angles like 2 and 3, and then 7 and 6. And then there actually is one more, and it's the one that has the most, and this is corresponding. And corresponding is things that are in the same spot. So like 8 is in the same spot as 6. 7 is in the same spot as angle 5. One is in the same spot as 3. And then 2 is in the same spot as 4. Okay, so make sure you have all those written down before you move on. And then let's do an example with numbers. So if I gave you this number 105, and I'm actually going to kind of highlight it so that we know it's 105, that's the one I'm giving you. If I give you that 105, you guys should be able to find all the other angles. Okay, so here's the other 105 because those are vertical. And then these are the 105s down here. And then all the other angles, if they're not equal, they add up to 180. So they're all 75s. And so we should probably go up here and say what happens when they're parallel. So alternate exterior equal, alternate exterior equal, consecutive interior add up to 180, and corresponding are equal. So we have 3 sets of angles that will be equal and 1 set that will add up to 180. All right, the only other thing we did in chapter 3 is we spent some time with slope. And so remember, our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And remember, when we did this, sometimes we sang that song, parallel slopes stay the same, perpendicular flip and change. Parallel slopes stay the same. Perpendicular flip and change. And this helped when we had to write our not our verbal, but our algebraic problems, where we had to use something called point slope. And point slope is up on the board. It's the purple sign. So that should look familiar. We've done a lot of that. You were good when we did it. It's just been a while, so you might have forgotten. Okay, so memorize your angle pair names and make sure you know when they equal and then when they add up to 180.